Emerging star Gene Tunney challenges French favorite Georges Carpentier. New York, 24th of July, 1924.
We're in round one. Gene Tunney on the left. Tremendous world interest in this fight. Over 30,000 fans here tonight. Many international diplomats, celebrities, and famous people at ringside. This fight is a crossroads for both men. Tonight's winner, either Tunney or Carpentier, will meet Dempsey for the world's heavyweight title. Gene Tunney is only 26 years old, 4 years younger than Carpentier. Tunney's had 46 bouts, lost only one on points to the fabulous Harry Greb. But Tunney reversed that by beating Greb in a return bout. The end of round one. In the second and third rounds, Tunney outboxes and outpunches Carpentier. Now round four of this 15-round international bout between Gene Tunney, former world's light heavyweight champion, and Georges Carpentier, the Orchid Man of France. Polo Grounds, New York. Carpentier on the left. Carpentier's had 99 fights. He's won 86, 51 by knockouts. Gene Tunney is one of the great boxers of the fight game. He has a stinging left hook, a good hard right cross, and the best left jab in the business. Carpentier's got a real knockout punch in his overhand right. He throws it with a charging leap off the floor. He leads with it quite a lot. The end of round four. In the next two rounds, Carpentier carries the fight to Tunney, but Tunney scores with his counterpunching. Now round seven. That was a slip. No knockdown. Carpentier's jumping like he does when he throws his right results in a lot of arguments about him being fouled. It's easy to see how that happens, too. His opponent starts to swing, and when Carpentier goes into the air, the punch is very liable to land below the belt. In the eighth and ninth rounds, the pace continues fast without either man showing signs of tiring. Now round 10. First knockdown. It's Carpentier. Tunney used a beautiful left hook. Right uppercut combination, perfectly timed. Carpentier took a 7 count. Carpentier didn't take a count on that second knockdown. He may be out on his feet. Wonderful courage. Wonderful fighting heart, that Carpentier. Tunney's trying to wrap this fight up right now. He's not boxing now. He's trying to put Carpentier away for keeps. Carpentier taking an awful beating. The referee wants to stop it, but Carpentier won't let him. He wants to fight. That's the third knockdown. The crowd's all with him, all yelling for him. Gets up at the count of 9. He just made it. Well, you never saw such raw courage. The referee was hit by a right cross from Carpentier. And the bell saves Carpentier from a knockout. In the 11th, 12th, and 13th rounds, Carpentier makes a great comeback and outscores Tunney. Now the 14th round of this international heavyweight fight between Gene Tunney and George Carpentier. Polo Grounds, New York, July 24th, 1924. Carpentier on the right. Carpentier made a lot of friends in 1921 when he made his great stand against Jack Dempsey. But he never won more friends than so far tonight. 30,000 rabid fans screaming for him, rooting for him to win. Tonight's fight is Carpentier's last big chance. He's 30 years old, and he's got to win this one, or he's all through as a serious contender. Tunney's cool, in complete command. He's ahead on points. And only one more round after this one. He can't lose unless he gets knocked out. Carpentier's hurt. He's down. The bell ends the round. Tunney threw a hard smash to the body just as Carpentier started to leap into the air. Carpentier claims a foul. His manager and seconds are yelling foul. The referee insists the punch was fair. It was a blow to the stomach just above the belt. Tunney says the blow is fair. Tunney's the winner. Carpentier's manager and handlers are still claiming a foul. There's pandemonium at ringside. Most of the newspapermen say the punch was fair. The referee refuses the claim of foul, and Gene Tunney is the winner by a knockout in the 15th round.
Gene Tunney fights former world title challenger Tommy Gibbons. New York, 5th of June, 1925.
Seated in his corner, Gibbons waits confidently. Across the ring, Tunney looks equally sure of himself. As round one gets underway, Gene doesn't waste any time, using that left hand like a rapier. Gibbons is going to have to pursue his younger opponent. He knows that it's going to take an accurate head and body attack to slow down the brilliant boxing ex-Marine. Gibbons has certainly got his work cut out for him, as he's a 34-year-old veteran compared to the 27-year-old Gene Tunney, who is considered to be in the very prime of his great career. Gibbons turned professional in 1911 and has had 106 professional fights in the past 14 years, winning 104 and losing only 2. This is one of the most fantastic records in the history of boxing. Tom has fought 3 no-decision contests with the great Harry Greb. During that period of time, the only way a fighter could win was by the knockout route. If both fighters were standing on their feet at the end of 10 rounds, there was no decision rendered. But after those 3 fights with Harry Greb, newspapermen were unable to agree whether Greb or Gibbons had won on points. That's how close they were. Round 1 draws to a close with Tunney getting the edge on his relentlessly accurate jab. In rounds 2 and 3, Tunney continued to circle and move. His jab and straight right hand landed often enough to carry both rounds. Here in round 4, Gene takes on somewhat of a different strategy. Notice how it's Tunney who is now moving forward. He has apparently decided to step up the pace. This is a surprise to everyone. It was thought that Gibbons, a marvelous boxer himself, would have to chase the younger Tunney. But it's Gene, out-punching Gibbons at the rate of 3 and 4 to 1. That sharp left jab of Tunney's is constantly keeping Tom off balance. Gene isn't letting Tom get any type of an attack underway. Tunney turned professional in 1915 at the tender age of 17. Even then, he was 6 feet 1/2 inch tall and weighed 170 pounds. He had 15 professional fights, winning all, prior to joining the Marines in 1919. After winning all types of boxing honors during his service career, Gene came out of the Corps and took up where he left off. In 1920, he had 12 professional prize fights, winning them all, 9 by KOs. In round 5, Gibbons came back with an excellent body attack, which won him the round. But in round 6, the young ex-Marine came on strong with jabs and counters, which clearly gave him a decided edge. Here in round 7, the pattern of the fight has been set. Tunney, younger, stronger, and very much the faster of the two, is applying all of the pressure. His jolting straight left and hard rights to the body are definitely weakening the veteran Gibbons. Notice the quick cut-like moves of Gene. He's always in perfect balance, able to throw punches from any position with unnerving accuracy. Tom Gibbons has a very famous brother, Mike, who was one of the cleverest middleweights who ever lived. Tom has patterned his fighting style after that of his greatly talented brother. Tom also started his career as a middleweight, but as he grew and put on additional poundage, he found himself fighting and whipping all of the better light heavyweights and heavyweights in professional boxing. As round 7 draws to a close, it's clearly another round for Gene Tunney, who is punching all of the way. The 8th was another big Tunney round. Gene demonstrated supreme confidence. Notice how Gene, here in round 9, never lets up, never stops the constant pressure he's putting on Gibbons. This is exactly the type of battle Tunney fought 10 months ago, when he knocked out Georges Carpentier in 15 rounds. Gene applied the same relentless pressure, knocking the Frenchman down 4 times before scoring the KO. Watch closely as Gibbons steps in with a left to the body. Tunney sidesteps, and Tom is hurled into the ropes, but bounces off, ready for action. Undoubtedly, Tom's greatest feat took place 2 years ago on July 4th, 1923, when he challenged heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey at Shelby, Montana, under a blistering sun. The scheduled 15-round fight went the distance, and after 15 thrilling rounds, heavyweight champion Dempsey's hand was raised in victory as he earned a hard-fought decision from the man they called the master boxer, Tom Gibbons. Tonight's contest is the most important fight in Tunney's career. Heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey hasn't fought in 2 years, since knocking out Louis Angel Firpo in 1923. Promoter Tex Rickard has promised Gene a chance at the heavyweight title next year, providing he can get by Gibbons. While he was in training, Tunney was imperturbable. He had his mind set on only one goal, that of fighting Tom Gibbons, and then fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world. Newspaper men reported they had never seen such a determined training program that Tunney personally outlined for himself. They felt that there was a possibility that Gene could be overtrained and become stale before the fight. Gene's answer to his critics was that he knew best what it took to get himself ready physically and mentally. Here in round 11, Tunney is in complete control. The referee begins to show concern as Gibbons is noticeably weak and taking hard punches to the head. Tunney is giving Gibbons a terrible beating. See the flood of punches that are all finding their way to the target. Lefts and rights to the body and jaw, each further weakening the veteran Gibbons. Three years ago, Gene fought battling Levinsky in New York City for the American Light Heavyweight Championship. 4 months later, he lost the title, which was also his first and only loss as a professional, to the great Pittsburgh windmill, Harry Greb. 9 months later, in 1923, they met in a return match, but this time it was Tunney all the way, and Gene re-won the American Light Heavyweight Championship. Greb didn't believe that this young boxer could beat him twice, so 3 more times, in 1923, 24, and 25, Greb attempted to get that title back, but each time he was beaten more decisively by Tunney's magnificent boxing. As round 11 nears its end, it appears to be just a question of whether Gibbons can go the 15-round distance. Here in the beginning of round 12, Tunney has taken complete command over the aging veteran Tom Gibbons. Gene is showing the strength and confidence which has carried him to 76 victories in 77 professional prize fights. It's all Tunney now. Jabs, hooks, straight right hands. Gibbons is reeling under the constant pressure. Gene steps in and lands a tremendous right-hand punch to the jaw, flooring Gibbons for the first time in his professional career. The referee's count reaches 8. Tunney moves in quickly and lands 2 smashing right hands to the head, which put Gibbons down for the second time. Tunney goes to a neutral corner as the referee moves in to toll the final 10. As Gibbons gets to his feet, Tunney moves in to console and congratulate his dejected opponent.
Gene Tunney meets Jack Dempsey in a bid to win the World Heavyweight title. Philadelphia, 23rd of September, 1926.
When round 1. Gene Tunney with a crew haircut has the darker trunks. It's starting to rain, but the fight is going to continue. 130,000 fans here tonight. Dempsey hasn't fought for 3 years, but even so, everyone figures it's a cinch for him to win by a knockout within a few rounds. Tunney looks pale, seems tense. Dempsey's best punch is his left hook. It destroyed those two giants, Jess Willard and Louis Burpo. Tunney's got the best 1-2 combination in the business. While he doesn't have Dempsey's power, Gene can hurt you plenty. The end of round 1. In the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, Tunney outboxes Dempsey and keeps peppering the champion with a fast 1-2. Now round 6 of this world's heavyweight title bout between champion Jack Dempsey and Gene Tunney here in Philadelphia. Dempsey always moving forward, bobbing, weaving, trying to get one good poke at Tunney. Tunney's a native New Yorker, the first ever to try for the heavyweight crown. Gene started out to be a lawyer, but joined the Marines in 1918. He began boxing in the service. He won the AEF championship and then decided to go into the fight game instead of the law. Tunney's had 60 professional fights, and he's lost only one. A 15-round decision to Harry Greb. Gene's won 30 of his fights by knockout. Dempsey has a cut under his right eye. Tunney keeps peppering it. The end of round 6. In the 7th and 8th rounds, Tunney continues to outbox and out-hit the great Jack Dempsey. And the crowd is beginning to cheer for Tunney. Now round 9. Dempsey starts off every round with a right, hoping to land the big punch. But each time, Tunney smothers the champ's attack. Tunney has lost that tenseness of the early rounds. He's relaxed now, cool, fighting his own fight. He's taking a pretty good beating up to now. His face is badly swollen. His right eye is cut and closed. The rain is coming down heavier now. Everyone, 130,000 fans, soaked to the skin. The end of round 9. Final round of this battle for the world's heavyweight title between champion Jack Dempsey and the ex-Marine Gene Tunney here at Philadelphia. Dempsey in the lighter trunks. Jack is desperate. He's way behind. He knows his only chance to keep his title now is by a knockout. That long 3-year layoff has had its effect on Dempsey. His old speed is gone. His timing is off. And here in the 10th round, he's pretty well used up. Just a few seconds left, and the rain is coming down in torrents. Almost a cloudburst. The end of the fight. Tunney, the winner by unanimous decision. No hard feelings on Dempsey's part. He congratulates Gene Tunney, the new heavyweight champion of the world.
One year later, Tunney faces Dempsey once again, this time to defend his title. Chicago, 22nd of September, 1927.
Round 1. Tunney in the white trunks. Weighs 189 pounds tonight. Dempsey, 194. The great Jack Dempsey, one of the most popular champions of all time, fighting tonight to win back the title he lost to Gene Tunney the year before. Dempsey's loss to Tunney in their first fight was considered a terrific upset. Over 100,000 fans here in Soldiers Field tonight. $2.5 million gate, all-time record. This great crowd has come to see if Dempsey can do what no other heavyweight champion has ever done, win back the title after once losing it. The end of round one. From the second to the sixth round, Dempsey tries desperately for a knockout, but Tunney outboxes him. Now round 7. Tunney in the white trunks. A lot depends on Dempsey's legs tonight. Tunney's much faster than Dempsey. Referee Dave Barry motions Dempsey to a neutral corner. Now let's take a closer look at all the action in slow motion. This is the historic long count. Dempsey lashes out like the old Manasseh Mauler. Tunney hits the canvas. The official knockdown timekeeper at ringside starts the count. But referee Dave Barry ignores him, and instead he tries to make Dempsey understand that he will not start the count until Dempsey goes to the farthest neutral corner. That's the Illinois boxing rule. Dempsey finally obeys, and then Barry starts the count. The Dempsey fans here at ringside are furious. They're claiming that Tunney was down 4 seconds before the count was started. But the Tunney fans say the count has nothing to do with it. Tunney can get up any time. He's watching the referee and listening to the count. He's staying down only because he wants to take full advantage of the count. The Dempsey fans insist more than 10 seconds have elapsed. But Barry's count is still going on. Count is 9. Tunney is up. Tunney trying to stay away from Dempsey, trying to last out the round. Dempsey's fans yelling to Jack to corner Tunney. But Tunney's too fast. Jack's legs just can't carry him that fast anymore. Dempsey's getting disgusted. He screams at Tunney, quit running away, come back and fight. But Tunney stays on that bicycle. He's not ready to trade punches with Dempsey yet a while. Tunney appears to be recovering from that knockdown. He's fast, even though he's been going backwards. His jab is straight and hard. His right cross has the old sting again. There's the end of round 7, one of the most famous rounds in the entire history of boxing. Now we go into round 8. Tunney's his old self again. All he needed was that 1 minute of rest. He's completely recovered from the knockdown. There's some comment here at ringside questioning Tunney's courage because he's been backtracking from Dempsey after the knockdown. But there's just as much comment saying Tunney was smart not letting Dempsey catch up with him while he's still rocky. Coming up now is Tunney's knockdown of Dempsey. Watch it in slow motion. A right cross on the button, and Dempsey is down for a count of 1. Jack more surprised than stunned. Tunney's knockdown of Dempsey is a dramatic example of Tunney's great courage and boxing ability. In the 7th round, Tunney was down for a 9 count, very close to being knocked out. Yet here in the 8th round, Tunney has turned the tables on the great Manasseh Muller. The end of round 8. In round 9, Tunney's superior boxing and speed continue to slow Dempsey up. Now the 10th and final round. Tunney tripped. That was no knockdown, no count. Thousands of Dempsey's fans screaming for him to land a haymaker. Jack's doing his best. He knows now it's got to be a knockout if he's going to win tonight. Tunney's boxing, his timing is perfect. There's no doubt now that he's the master, a real champion. Time's running out on Dempsey. And Dempsey seems to have run out of gas. Tunney's speed is too much for him. Tunney's ripping lefts and rights have been landing like a trip hammer. But the great Jack Dempsey is still in there, trying for one big punch. One more like that big 7th round. A light punch rocks Dempsey, and now the fans are yelling for Tunney to score a knockout. The bell, and the fight is over. Gene Tunney, the winner and still heavyweight champion of the world.